Here's the new video of Russian soldiers appearing to abandon their posts just south of Bakhmut, that shell of a city that has seen the most vicious fighting of the past months. Ukraine's president, in an exclusive interview to CNN, made it clear that when it comes to Bakhmut, Ukraine is not about to retreat.
This is tactical for us. We understand that after Bakhmut, they could go further. They could go to Kramatorsk, to Slavyansk. It would be an open road for the Russians after Bakhmut to other towns in Ukraine, in the Donetsk direction, in the east of Ukraine.
Sticking by that, and we've got new video into out front of the one road that could make all the difference when it comes to who ultimately controls Bakhmut, a town that Russians thought they would topple easily in 2 weeks, but now has been a place of hand-to-hand combat for more than 7 months. So this road is the only supply route for Ukraine's troops into the besieged city. It is a crucial route, right now covered in mud. Cars and trucks have been blown to pieces, and they line that muddy pathway, which is essentially what it is. But this is what's keeping Ukraine going and allowing it to push back against Russian soldiers who have been in continual disarray. And even tonight, new videos, just listen to this one, lashing out at their superiors.
I am refusing to obey orders after we took on losses in just 3 days. One reason being that our troops are not trained properly, yet sent to the front lines. It's completely f***ed up. We are dying left and right. Here's what's left of our company.
You can see only about 10 or a dozen men there, but I am refusing to obey orders, not just a complaint, an actual refusal to obey orders. It's not clear whether Putin is listening to this. For his part, he's rarely seen in public and rarely acknowledges the horrible struggle that his forces are facing on the front line. In a moment, I'm going to speak to a reporter who has exclusive new reporting on Putin's whereabouts and his lavish lifestyle with his reputed girlfriend, the former Russian Olympic gold medalist Alina Kabaeva. Russian independent journalist Roman Badanin reporting that this luxury mansion in Valdez is where Putin often stays. It's a home he can often get to by armored train, reportedly now his preferred way of travel, as we've told you. And tonight we have images reportedly of the interior. According to Badanin, the home is decked out in gold from Putin's office to his bedroom, which you can see here, to his so-called night cellar with gold dining chairs. And as for Putin's reputed girlfriend, Alina Kabaeva, a mansion was constructed about half a mile from Putin's home, where she apparently resides. Now, CNN can't independently verify these are images of Putin's homes because the Kremlin guards every detail of Putin's private life. But publicly, the Kremlin is struggling to silence growing criticism over the invasion and Putin's role in it. Melissa Bell is out front live in Kyiv tonight to begin our coverage. And Melissa, what is the latest on the ground tonight?
Aaron, Ukrainian forces continuing to hold on to Bakhmut despite the huge losses in infantry to both sides as Russian forces move ever closer to the city center. But Ukrainian attention tonight very much fixed on one soldier in particular, a Ukrainian man who went missing in early February. Glory to Ukraine were his last words. Timofey Shadura was his name. His courage and his silhouette made iconic overnight by his brutal execution. An officer from his brigade telling CNN that his death will not go unpunished.
Дуже боляче сприйняв таку варварську поведінку нашого ворога. Помста буде невідворотною. Так, Збройні сили України помстяться за смерть нашого товариша.
The fate of Bakhmut still in the balance. With dozens more attacks to the north of the besieged city and heavy losses to the Russian side, say Ukrainian authorities. But efforts to encircle Bakhmut praised by the Russian defense minister after an unusual trip to his soldiers in the occupied territories of Ukraine.
This city is an important defense hub for Ukrainian troops in Donbass. Taking it under control will allow further offensive actions deep into the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine.
The town also at the heart of a tussle between the Russian army and Wagner, the mercenary group planting its flag closer to the center of Bakhmut. Much of the fighting now street to street, soldier to soldier. As civilians cower in their basements, fewer than 4,000 now, say Ukrainian authorities, including 38 children. The ferocity of the artillery and mortar fire that continue to pound the city, making it hard even for soldiers to get out. And as Moscow closes in, more claims of so-called Ukrainian terrorist activity, with staunch Moscow ally Alexander Lukashenko announcing the capture of a Ukrainian-Russian national accused of trying to sabotage a Russian surveillance plane at a Minsk airfield, without presenting further evidence.
We identified and detained him. To date, more than 20 accomplices who are on the territory of Belarus have been detained.
Only last week, Moscow accused Ukrainian saboteurs of opening fire on civilians inside Russia. But even as the war of words widens, all eyes are very much on Bakhmut and whether this symbol of Ukrainian resilience will finally fall, even as a new one is born.
However long air and Ukrainian forces manage to hold on to Bakhmut, whether it is a matter of hours or days, Kyiv says that it has already achieved its strategic ambitions, and they were twofold. First of all, degrading the Russian war machine, but also buying time as they prepare for a counteroffensive this spring.
All right, Melissa, thank you very much. Live from Kyiv tonight. And now, as promised, I want to go to Roman Badanin. He is a Russian journalist and the founder and editor-in-chief of the investigative journalism site Projekt, which has been targeted by the Russian government. He left Russia after facing the threat of a prison sentence. Roman, I really appreciate your time. And I mentioned your new investigation at the top of our program, your look inside Putin's real estate empire personally, inside Russia, and that of his reported girlfriend, Alina Kabaeva, with whom he apparently has multiple children. To what extent does Putin go through to keep that relationship and all that property and lifestyle secret?
Based on many facts that we discovered, I can say that Putin is absolutely 100% crazy about the secrecy around his personal life, about his relatives, and specifically about Kabaeva. Probably, I would say that Kabaeva is the biggest taboo in Russia.
And you have talked to 10 to 12 people in his inner circle, and they all, I mean, they all know this is what's happening.
Yeah, they all are sure that Putin and Kabaeva is a family, but at the same time, none of them have ever seen Kabaeva and Putin together. That's surprising. And I can give you like 3 short, very brief examples about the secrecy around Putin's personal life. As we reported, and as you mentioned, there is an armored secret train which is used by Kabaeva and Putin to get to the secret villas in Valdai region in northern Russia. Second, in 2008, it was a Russian tabloid called Moskovsky Correspondent, which first reported about the secret affair between Putin and Kabaeva. And this newspaper was forced to stop operation just in 1 day after the story was released. You can imagine, in 1 day. And the third example, we found a story about top professionals from Switzerland, their gynecologists who assisted Kabaeva to deliver her babies, and they were secretly transported, I would say, to Russia in 2019 just to help Kabaeva to deliver her baby.
And we're showing their picture there. You were able to even get pictures of them. And you shared these never-before-seen photos of what you say are the interior of Putin's house in Valdai, you know, the night room, as you describe it, the bedroom, all of this, the gold and opulence on display everywhere, right? An incredible amount of gold and gaudiness. You say this actually tells you something about Putin and the war in Ukraine.
Yeah, it's my main personal conclusion after this story was made. We have a 70-year-old man. He has a young girlfriend and small kids. And this man loves gold maniacally. And he loves his rich life very much. And does anyone believe that this man is ready to start a global atomic catastrophe, a global nuclear catastrophe? I don't believe.
It's very interesting because you think he's got too much at stake. I did it personally. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you're taking the time and sharing all of this with us, Roman. I mean, it's incredible to see these images.
Thank you.